Hey folks, welcome back to the Edupedia world, and I am Abhinay Gupta. And today again we will continue with the Professional Ethics by the Chartered Accountant Act 1949. Right? So professional ethics, a topic wherein we have already covered the first four clauses of part 1 of the first schedule. And do you pay attention when I say this part and schedule and stuff? The way I say it, it is always written as first schedule, not schedule 1, right? It's always first schedule, and it's never first part, it is always part 1 and then clause 1, clause 2, right? Don't make this mistake in the examination. Okay, if it is the first schedule, second schedule, it is first schedule and second schedule only. It is not schedule 1, schedule 2. Right? Some of you may also pronounce it as schedule. That doesn't matter. The spelling is the same when you write in the examination. Right? So we have already completed, and I hope you are very clear with the first four clauses of part 1 of the first schedule. Right? Any queries will be responded if you send them to me. And how do you send it? You write it down in the comment box below, and I'll get back to you on that. It is not necessary that I will get back to you by replying to your comment then and there, but I may also give you an answer to the same in the future or in the later videos. Right? If I think that your query is something that is actually of a good interest and all the students should know about it, then I will give you a reply on that in the later videos. Right? So for now, let us start with the next clause. Today we'll be discussing about the clause 5. This is another small clause before we get into the big clause of clause 6. Right? As we have seen, clause 2 and 3 were related. It was about the paying and accepting of the part of the professional earning. Right? Part 4 was then talking about the partnership. Who are the kind of or categories of people with whom you can get into a limited liability partnership. Now clause 5, when we talk about clause 5, then again clause 5 and 6, they work hand in hand. That means clause 5 talks basically about securing client and clause 6 talks about soliciting clients. So again they are on parallel grounds, right? So clause 5 is a very small concept, a very small clause. We'll just finish it up in some time. But when we move on to clause 6, when we're talking about soliciting clients, right, that is an area where we need a depth of understanding. Right? So stay tuned when we get into clause 6. That will take more than 2 classes, or we may wind it up in 2 classes, but that is the minimum that we'll require, and that is one place from where you get the questions in the examination. Right? So before moving on to 6, let us complete with clause 5. So a chartered accountant in practice is deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct if he secures either through the service of a person who is not an employee of the chartered accountant or who is not his partner, or by means which are not open to him. So this is a negative statement. So if you take it to be positive, what you have is that you can secure clients only through your employee, any other chartered accountant who is your partner, right, or through other means that are open to you. So your employee, your partner are the only people from whom you can secure clients, right? Then, and with other means which are not open to a chartered accountant, then any professional business, right? Then provided that nothing herein contained shall be construed as prohibiting any agreement permitted in terms of item 2, 3 and 4 of this part. So this is actually the entire content of the clause. So when you are in the examination, don't go on by writing these things, right? There's a little difference in alignment. Let me align it for you. Yeah, so now I feel it is more readable for you, right? So the first line, which is the common line, then you have a very small clause. Secured either through the service of a person who is not an employee of a chartered accountant or who is not his partner, or by means which are not open to a chartered accountant or any professional business. right? And then provided that is a separate part, it is not the integral part of the clause, But with that clause, it is a specific declaration that provided that nothing herein contained shall be construed as prohibiting any agreement permitted in terms of item 2, 3, 4 of this part. That means we're talking about clause 2, clause 3 and clause 4 that we have already discussed. The paying, the accepting and the partnering. Right? These are the three clauses that we have discussed. So now let us get into the nitty-gritties of clause 5 specifically. So now some of you must be thinking this is unfair, right? Because if I am a chartered accountant and if I am getting into practice, if I obtain the certificate of practice, I need clients. That is my bread and butter. And now we are not allowed to solicit and secure clients. Yes, and it's not unfair. Try and understand, right? Guys, you're not MBA students, you're not here for marketing. It's not a product of a company that you are going on to distribute or to sell. That yeah, you have to meet people, you have to meet clients, you have to persuade and then get it done by hook or by crook. Because marketing is all about selling, however you sell. Over here you're not selling it, we are not a product, understand. It's a very, very, very reputed profession, right? If you're in the market, you'll always hear people saying CA Sahab. Why is it so? After so much of a struggle, when you become a chartered accountant and you go out for practice, you see the kind of respect you get. Whatever be the client, whatever be his turnover, whatever be his size, when you enter the office as a chartered accountant, he calls you CA Sahab. Or he says, like, it's a respect that you get, right? So now imagine if you were to go on marketing, then there is one client who would, suppose, I'm just taking a hypothetical example, it is AK Electricals Limited, and they say that okay, we are giving out audit fees rupees 2 lakh per quarter, right? And then there are 10 chartered accountants who come to know about it, and they're like, oh, we don't have a lot of job over here, a lot of task over here, but it's 2 lakh per quarter, means 8 lakh per annum on a single client. Let's go and get this client. So all of them, they come and they say, okay, we'll give you this service, we'll give you that service, we'll do it this way, we'll do it that way, give it to us. And that man goes for a toss. He says like, there are 10 chartered accountants standing in front of me, offering me, giving me certain other offers that okay, we'll also help you with this, we'll also help you with that. That man gets into a position of bargain. And he says, okay, I am paying a fee of only 1 lakh rupees. How many of you would be ready to do it? So out of those 10, 5 may back out, but 5 will still be there. Okay. Even 1 is not bad, man. Come on, give it to us. He comes down to 50 and 2 will stay. And 1 of them will take it away. So that is about spoiling the image, spoiling the reputation and spoiling the market for the entire CA profession. Right? We don't operate that way. So the institute says that a man should stand erect and not to be kept erect by others. It is on you, it is a one-man game, one-man army. You have to outperform, you have to gain that reputation, you have to gain that professional confidence of the clients. Right? So that in the market, when you come across, when people go out in the market to look for chartered accountant and they ask somebody and they'll say that yes, so and so chartered accountancy, that firm, that is the most reputed firm. They have a very legitimate background, right? They have good resources, they have a good professionalism, good way of working, they give you the best solutions, they have that professionalism, all those things, their ethics are strong. These things, when you roll out these kinds of image in the market, that is what will fetch you client. So you should be getting client that way. The client should be approaching you and requesting you, so please could you audit my financials. It's not we going and asking for audits, man. Come on. You are a chartered accountant. You can't go on begging clients. Right? So that is why this clause has been incorporated. That by virtue of this clause, even if somebody tries to do it, you will be held guilty of professional misconduct. You are not fit to be a chartered accountant then, because you do not value your degree, you do not value your designation, your profession. You have to do that, right? But why are we permitting employees and other partners? Because even if you have an employee and your employee is working very good, he can talk to people and he can say that, yeah, my partner, right, he works out very well, he has some contacts in the market, he has his friends, or anybody, right? If he is working, like, it's like you are working. If he has a reputation and he gets client, it's like you have a reputation and you get client, because the firm is ultimately yours. If your partner is working, it's a firm. So you don't operate on an individual basis. It's not a one-man game, it's a one-firm game. If it's a proprietorship firm, it's you and your employee. But if it's a partnership firm, it's you, your partners and your employees. All of you together need to take this firm ahead, right? So you can secure client from your employee and your partner, but not from anyone else, right? Are you clear with this? That, yeah, these are the ways you're not supposed to do? Because there are, like, if you're not aware of this, if professional ethics was not a part of your course and you become a chartered accountant and you say, hey, there are so many clients, we don't see any advertisement, we don't see anything like that, let's go and get some clients. And then you roll out, yeah, with these 2 services, these 3 services free. Come on, have you ever seen such kind of an advertisement? No. That will bring disrepute to the profession, right? So that is a professional misconduct as well. So you don't see any advertisement. You see people seeking for auditors and they are going to them and they are asking them to please audit us, right? We get different we are approached by the clients. We hold client meetings and then we decide whether or not we are going to audit that client, right? So it's on you. Maintain that dignity. So this clause only stands for that purpose, nothing else. It is about securing client, taking client from somebody. Somebody is giving you client. It is not about soliciting client. When I talk about, actually the example that I gave, that you bargaining and everything, that is not about securing client, actually, right? That example will actually best suit when I talk about soliciting clients, right? Securing client is in general taking client from somebody. Somebody is giving you clients, right? So I hope you have that understanding. Clear with it? When we are discussing the questions from the practice manual, right, there we will lay more stress on this clause so that it is easier for you to identify when are we dealing with clause 5 and when are we dealing with clause 6, because it's a thin line difference, right? And the next clause is actually going to be a huge clause, because there we're talking about soliciting. And when you are actually going out for soliciting, when you are going out for marketing, I say in that case, then there are many ways that you approach, right? So I'll try to discuss the ways that has been demonstrated by the C Institute, that these are the ways and we are prohibiting this ways. These are the other ways and we are prohibiting these ways as well, right? So that is going to be a little lengthy clause. So please be thorough with clause number 1 to 5 so far, and then jump on to the next clause, which is clause 6, and that will be started in the next lecture, right? So until then, this is Abhinay Gupta signing off. I'll take your leave and I'll see you back in the next lecture with the next clause, right? And we will bang on and we will complete the entire course with this confidence itself, right? And be rest assured, your syllabus will be wound up much before your November attempt, right? Or to say, your syllabus may be wound up by the end of August if everything goes well. So you have September, October for your revision, right? Because last 2 months are actually the time when you should get into your revision, your accountancy, your strategic financial management and other things also. Okay, so I'll see you in the next class. Until then, this is Abhinay Gupta signing off. Thank you and bye-bye.